Hey everyone, welcome back to the Maverick channel. Wherever you may be, whatever you're doing, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Here we talk about digital currencies. We like to objectively and subjectively look at technologies that have established themselves within the crypto space. So if you're new to this channel, welcome. Hitting that subscribe and like button would really be helpful. If you've watched and consumed this content but have not yet hit that bell button and subscribe, I'm watching you. I'm just kidding. It would really be nice to and helpful for this channel to especially disseminate this information out there. So we've seen the crypto market really primed up. Bitcoin has been on a rally. This correction, we can see the markets are quite red. Ethereum has been having that sustainability ever since the Ethereum 1559 improvement proposal. Cardano, there's a speculation of Cardano finally launching Alonso on the 12th of September, which is supposed to enable smart contracts on the Cardano network. Apparently, the whole world is very bullish about that. Maybe because of the different partnerships that Cardano has made, also in part, I think mostly due to speculation, but also the idea. Charles Hoskinson, the guy behind Cardano, is a pretty smart guy, very eloquent. He's a co-founder of the Ethereum network. So that sort of effect, the type of effect that it brings onto Cardano network, and given the type of demeanor that he gives off when he speaks, when he presents himself, I think there's a lot that comes into play. That's why networks have a network effect, because there's different appeals, there's different reasons as to why networks become popular. There's a social network aspect of it, there's a technological aspect of it, there's the adoption. Why are certain networks adopted? Why do certain networks garner more interest than others? Maybe that's just the nature of life. So the Binance Smart Chain, we've seen it has been superseded by Cardano in market capitalization, but it still maintained its position in a way. It's still at a high price. It's still one of the most used blockchains out there. I think the most used, apart from Ethereum, when you look at layer one technologies. So there's different layer one technologies. Cardano, for example, is set out to be a layer one technology. Ethereum is a layer one technology. Bitcoin itself innately, things like Binance Smart Chain, they're layer one technologies built on top of other layer one technologies. So Binance Smart Chain leverages the Cosmos ecosystem. Anyway, so we've seen the market prime, but at the same time, it's exciting, but at the same time, you need to be very careful because there's a lot of positive articles out there. And unless this is some sort of magical market that never sees any retracement, you have to be a contrarian when it comes to these price movements. Markets never go up forever. You need to know when to jump out of the market. At least you need to understand what percentage of your investment you feel is safe enough to take out, safe enough to live in there. But there's some people that are very bullish in the crypto market space, like Michael Saylor. We're going to look at that. So first, I want to look at this article here, which I think is important, especially if you're extremely bullish in this market. Just sort of have a second point of view. This is happening in South Korea, but we know like back in 2017, the Asian market was driving this crypto space like crazy. And similarly, obviously now, we cannot deny the fact that a lot of capital is coming from the Asian market. So I'll read a little bit of this article. And the headline goes like this. A crypto coin run could be brewing in South Korea. Now, in case it actually happened, we don't know how much it would affect the rest of the world. A leading South Korean media outlet and industry experts have warned that a coin run could take place next month as the likelihood of a mass crypto exchange closures increases. So I'm not going to read this article, but basically the summary of this article is in South Korea, the crypto exchanges, just like any other countries, the crypto exchanges that operate within that jurisdiction, and the government is saying, hey guys, you have to comply. You're not special. You're not above the law. So we need you to implement anti-money laundering, know your customer type of thing. We need everyone that interacts with your platform, that liquidates their cryptocurrencies or that buys cryptocurrencies from there. They need to be registered with your platform with their names and everything. Of course, all I can say to that is that thank goodness we have decentralized finance. You can go to a smart contract and exchange your tokens. Of course, there's certain things you might be looking for in a centralized exchange. I could say, for example, if you're a very high net worth individual, you may want the liquidity from an exchange. But obviously, if you're very high net worth, then you may want to do over the table type of transactions, over the counter type of transactions. So we're seeing this effect in the South Korean market, which could affect the smaller exchanges because some of the influential big exchanges have already attained at least a license. They've attained most of the documents that are required for them to actually fit into these regulatory frameworks that the country is setting. But if you're a small exchange, then it might pose a challenge to actually attain some of these requirements needed, which means your users might want to exit your platform all at the same time, which can pose problems. It can lead to exit scams because the exchanges cannot handle that type of volume, and so on. And it can also lead to a cascading effect that leads to a tumble in the crypto space. So all I'm saying with articles like this, they help you develop a contrarian sort of mindset, at least to have a 50-50 view of where the markets are. Yes, the markets are bullish, but anything can happen. So find ways of protecting yourself. Some of us have experienced the downturns in the market. I'm sure most of you have, and it's not a very good feeling. Let's go to the next article. The next article is basically DeFi uncovered hints of multi-chain future. So I'll just read maybe the first paragraph. So activity on Ethereum network has continued to tick higher, highlighted by the price of gas on the network finding a 3-month high at an average of about 80 plus Gwei. So I'll stop there. Of course, there's a lot of activities happening on Ethereum network. NFTs, DeFi, total locked value in the Ethereum network is the highest. With decentralized platforms like OpenSea that are dominating the NFT space, they do it really well. Uniswap as well, the USDT stablecoin has the highest liquidity on the Ethereum network. But we know, of course, that the Ethereum fees have been extremely high. We've talked about this. Everyone's aware of this. And in turn, like I talked about in the beginning of the video, I hope I did, layer 1 technologies are competing as Ethereum is struggling to upgrade to Ethereum 2.0, which is supposed to have all these technologies like sharding, where you have parallel transactions happening. But those are these challenges that come with sharding. Especially there's certain solutions that you might want to have within a sharded blockchain, like having inter-shard communication. So that's also a problem in its own. So, of course, consequently, there are layer 1 technologies that are trying to compete in this space. Binance Smart Chain has established itself the most in this space. I think it did it well because they already had the backing of the Binance ecosystem, a lot of liquidity, they have a lot of knowledge in this space, and most importantly, they incorporate, because they're using the Cosmos ecosystem or the Cosmos consensus algorithms as well, they have their own proof of stake type of algorithm. But when it comes to interchain communication, because the Cosmos network supports inter-blockchain communication, those types of technologies advantages. So Binance Smart Chain was able to leverage on those. But at the same time, excuse me guys, my camera is acting up. Okay, but at the same time, the Binance Smart Chain was able to just completely copy paste the Ethereum network and do, Ethereum does this, let us copy paste and do that. And they are a bit centralized and it's a bit hard if you want to stake, if you want to become I think a node delegator, a validator. If you want to run a node on the Binance Smart Chain, it's a bit steep. It's about $500,000 right now. Or yeah, the last time at least I checked it, it was quite high. So the Binance Smart Chain has certain centralization going on within it, but they're scalable, they're cheap, the fees are cheap, and it's fast. But of course, they've sacrificed centralization to allow these other network effects to happen, like scalability and hopefully security is there. Hopefully. Some people doubt that it's there. So we've seen Binance Smart Chain, the Solana ecosystem, Avalanche, Cosmos, for example, I've talked about it, Terra Luna, they're focusing mainly on stablecoins as well. I think Algorand is trying to do something similar, stablecoins and CBDCs. So those are some of the terminologies you hear in the crypto space. So we're seeing that there's some really powerful competition as regards the layer 1 technology, as regards the layer 1, who wants to take the biggest share of the layer 1 technology, because having a base layer 1 technology that is scalable, that is fast, that is obviously immutable, hopefully, and employs all the other nice, good fundamentals that we love about decentralized technologies that were started by Bitcoin. Everyone is trying to vie for this position as Ethereum is still struggling to go up. So the names that I've mentioned, those are buzzwords. Everyone in the crypto space knows of these cryptocurrencies, but in case you're new to this channel, you want to look out for those things. But they've pumped in price tremendously the past couple of months, so be careful. So the next article we want to cover is US banking giant Morgan Stanley buys over $250,000 worth of the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust shares. We've talked about Grayscale here. The United States is still struggling with allowing the exchange traded fund, right, to happen, the ETF. The SEC is still undecided of how to regulate this crypto space. So the institution that has the closest sort of offering to an ETF is the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust shares. And we're seeing a banking giant like Morgan Stanley buying $250 million, actually, maybe in the beginning I said thousand. No, it's $250 million worth of these Bitcoin shares. They're not, the disadvantage is that they're not backed by the actual Bitcoin, the actual physical Bitcoin that's lying on top of the Bitcoin network. So in other words, the demand of the grayscale Bitcoin does not necessarily increase the demand in Bitcoin. Like there's no physical purchase of Bitcoin that happens when this demand increases. It's just a price of what the SEC asked these guys to do or told them to do, whatever, is that, hey, have a price that mirrors the price of Bitcoin. And when people buy your trust, that's what they're trading. There's no actual physical Bitcoin being bought. But of course, the speculation side of things can lead to a higher price as well. So the point of this was these institutions that are very interested in this space and they're trying to be a part of this space. They don't want to become irrelevant in this crypto space. But at the same time, the point to note is that the money is flowing in this space. For crying out loud, the crypto space is currently $2 trillion. That's big. In 2017, it reached a height of about $700 billion. So this is like 3x of that. So it's pretty amazing to see how things are going. A lot of institutions are interested in the crypto space. They're investing in different companies with different use cases. There could be wallet providers, there could be custodial services, there could be exchanges like the FTX exchange with the FTT token. They raised about $900 million in Series B funding and they were valued at about $18 billion. We've seen different exchanges. We've seen networks like the Certic network. We've seen different foundations, Cardano, Algorand, whatever, Avalanche. All these networks had some insane type of funding in the beginning. Series A, Series B, some of them were proceeded to Series C, and so on and so forth. So we understand there's a lot of institutional money flowing into the space. Of course, you can't mention institution without mentioning Michael Saylor. He's not only the most bullish CEO on Bitcoin in the world, but he must be the craziest person as far as Bitcoin investment is concerned. As the rest of the market is not sure of what's going to happen to Bitcoin, this guy goes ahead to announce and he says 3,900 more Bitcoin has been added. So these guys converted their whole balance sheet to Bitcoin. We've seen all this. He's extremely bullish. They currently now hold 108,992 Bitcoin. I like the way Michael Saylor speaks. I was going to say MicroStrategy. It's interesting that his name is quite similar to the company. It's both MS. I like the way the words he uses, like cyberspace, money in cyberspace, or thermodynamically sound money. He's a very eloquent person that really understands finance. We can see a quote here, like when he posted that MicroStrategy had bought an extra 3,900 Bitcoin, he quoted himself from a tweet he posted in September 19th back in 2020. Bitcoin is a swarm of cyber onnets. Let me repeat that. Bitcoin is a swarm of cyber onnets serving the goodness of wisdom, feeding on the fire of truth, exponentially growing ever smarter, faster, and stronger behind a wall of encrypted energy, he tweeted on August 24th. This guy's extremely bullish. And he's been on the right track so far. So he got into the Bitcoin game late, 2020, but the prices at which the Bitcoin was purchased, he's still in massive profits. His own personal stash of Bitcoin is about 17,732 Bitcoin. Is still in profit because he purchased at about an average price of about 9,882. Most of this information is made public because this guy went all out. There's no need to hide. Everything is in Bitcoin. Of course, the article goes on to state that there's also other currencies, other ecosystems developing. But I kind of understand if you're going to put so much at stake, then you rather put it, I guess, in the native currency that has been around for over 10 years, that has established itself in the way that it has. And obviously, it has the liquidity as well. And arguably the most decentralized network in the whole crypto space. So let's go on to this next article. So the next article is just to bring you guys to light of the continued buzzwords that we hear in the crypto space as far as the actual tokens are concerned. We've mentioned some layer 1 technologies, but in this next article, the title is Top 3 Coins to Watch This Week. Solana, Terra Luna, Cardano. Obviously, we know Solana, there's NFTs brewing in the Solana network. There's a lot of DeFi brewing in the Solana network. The whole world is bullish on Solana. Yeah, and the token, we've seen the price go up tremendously. It reached, I think, $100 for the first time recently, like yesterday. And there's continued traction around the Solana ecosystem. Solana is an outperformer with an impressive price growth. So that's how they're stating this. And then they're talking about how NFTs have disseminated also into the Solana ecosystem.
The other is Terra Luna. So obviously we know that increased demand in the Luna token. Obviously, let's not talk about speculation. That's it's everywhere. It's everywhere, and this world is filled with speculation. So the Terra Luna token, basically, to summarize, you buy more Terra Luna, you can use that to mint stablecoins of different versions. Maybe you can mint the US dollar, maybe the Chinese yuan, maybe the British pound. So any increased demand, there's actual demand for the Terra Luna token if you want to mint stablecoins, which you can use for lending out and other things that can be applied within the DeFi ecosystem. There's Cardano. I've talked about Cardano enough. There's the Alonso upgrade coming. Everyone is bullish on that. Let's wait for it and see how it plays out. That's on the 12th of December. So everyone is kind of waiting on that to see what actually happens. Obviously, it's touted, when people talk about smart contracts, the Cardano network, it's touted like as if it's the biggest thing that has ever happened. Smart contracts are now a given. If you want to develop a layer 1 blockchain, you're supposed to have smart contracts. You're supposed to enable DeFi. You're supposed to incorporate some things that people need. DeFi, smart contracts, pretty much. But there must be a reason as to why people are extremely bullish on the Cardano network. But I said in the video, different network effects come because of different reasons, mostly historically attached reasons, or the person in charge of those. It depends on a lot of things. Sometimes it's just pure luck. Okay, so the last article I wanted to talk about is basically this article saying or stating that top 9 staking coins for 2021. So staking, I'm sure most of you are familiar with it. There's different consensus algorithms. For example, Bitcoin uses proof of work. Ethereum is still on proof of work. It wants to transition to proof of stake. But most of the tokens, most of the layer 1 tokens, I think if not like 99% of the new layer 1 tokens will be using some form of a proof of stake model. Some of them have proof of stake authority. Some others have delegated proof of stake. Some have, I think, true proof of stake. So there's different versions of proof of stake, and there's some networks that have different consensus algorithms, but still employ the staking model. So this article basically saying, oh, here are 9, but but whoever wrote it, it's their own subjective view. But I just wanted to bring to your attention the tokens in this article. Ethereum is number 1, not surprising. Number 2, Cardano. Number 3, Tezos. Tezos has not really featured that much in this bull run. I'm not a very big fan of Tezos, but I think it might it might shock everyone, and it might do some crazy recovery, something unexpected. But we don't know. The crypto space changes so fast. It's so scary. Number 4, Polygon Network, Polygon Matic. It partnered with Polygon Hermes. So I don't know, Polygon Matic, Polygon Hermes, Polygon Matic. The 5th is Theta Network. We've heard these words before. Algorand is the 6th. Cosmos, Polkadot, Cosmos and Polkadot, interchain, interoperability, that type of thing. The Icon Network. So in this article, I think it's the only article I'll post in this video because it's expansive. The person that wrote this article, the company, it's called Being Crypto. They expanded on reasons why they featured these cryptocurrencies. Yeah. So I'm going to link this article in the description if you want to expand more and read about them more. And they have a little video at the end of each of them. So you can just pretty much watch the video, and each of them there's a summary of each of the tokens, so it's not like an extremely long read. It's 9 tokens, but each of them has a very cleanly summarized overview of why they have been included on this list. And you can watch a nice video as well that can pretty much explain on your behalf. You don't have to do all the heavy lifting, all the reading. They do it all for you. So I hope you learned something in this video. That's pretty much what I wanted to bring to light. The regulatory side of things. When markets are bullish, or always try to have a contrarian point of view, or at least try to protect yourself. Have that point of view by protecting yourself and then seeing how to play in the crypto market. You could stake tokens and you continue reinvesting your staking rewards or your yield farming rewards, as opposed to investing new money. But as you know, in the crypto space, it depends on where you are, depends on what you're doing, depends on your position in the crypto space, depends on how early you are, depends on many factors as an individual and what you have to deal with. It depends on so many things, what you have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. So your investment strategy would be different, but there's some fundamentals that you have to follow to be safe, or you ideally have to follow, like taking out your initial investment, not investing more than you're willing to lose, and ideally dollar cost averaging in. But I also advise dollar cost averaging out if there is a bull market. So taking out your certain percentages of your profits just to be safe. But that's on the investment side of things. We actually do not talk about that much on this channel, but just as a hint. Okay, so basically that's all I want to talk about in this video, including the layer 1 technologies, just to bring to light of those different tokens, the buzzword tokens that are being thrown around. And yeah, that's it. So since I'm not a financial advisor, all I can say, go do some more research of your own. I've posted some links in the description. If you're interested in the articles, that's a good way to start, so you don't have to go out there and try to look for all the info, but hopefully it can set you on a path to find your own information and develop your own investment strategies in this space, or your approach in this space. I believe the best way to invest in this space is through education first. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye, take care.